Have you noticed that YouTube feels a little bit different lately? 10 years ago, becoming a YouTuber meant pointing a camera at your face and just filming. Now, it means building a production company and personal brand. I think this shift explains a lot of why bigger channels feel more corporate, a little less personal, and small niche creators are fun, relatable, enjoyable. At first, I thought it was just beastification, but I found it's actually much deeper than that. We're entering an era where two completely different worlds exist on the same platform. So the other day, someone commented on one of my videos suggesting a creator I should look into, Emil.
Hey Jacob,
How
are
see
you?
Me? Hear me?
I can see you and hear you.
And as I watched some of his videos, subscribed to his channel, got used to who he was, one of the things that immediately stuck out to me was how honest and pure and authentic, how unpolished his videos were. They were charming in a way that reminded me of 2016 YouTube. And it got me thinking, why do creators, the bigger that they get, the larger that they scale up their channels, feel less and less personal and raw? I mean, don't get me wrong, MrBeast, he makes really fun and entertaining videos, but I don't feel like I know Jimmy in the same way that I feel like I know Emil from watching his videos. MrBeast feels more like a host on stage, whereas Emil is like hanging out with a friend.
People, I think, more want to have a conversation with someone, even if it's a one-sided conversation, than be presented at. So something which, at least personally to me, makes me gravitate less towards presentational YouTube, like say MrBeast or Eric, where they're hitting you with a this, that, and I'm sort of like you're standing on stage and talking sort of a thing. That I think maybe appeals to some people, but doesn't necessarily appeal to me. I want to feel like I'm part of a conversation. So I feel like if you invite a conversation, if you talk conversationally, then people will feel like they want to conversate back.
As I've thought about it, I think a big factor in this has to do with the fact that MrBeast has this entire team of people coming up with ideas, writing the videos, producing them, filming them, editing them, producing them. There are so many different people, voices, opinions, thoughts, styles that go into his videos. So when we see a MrBeast video, it isn't 100% MrBeast's personality that is able to come through in the video. It's MrBeast plus his entire team of people. Emil, on the other hand, and other small creators like him, it's just him. He's coming up with ideas, writing them, filming it by himself, editing it. He's in charge of everything. He has a hand in everything. He is doing every aspect of making the video. So it's only his personality that is really able to come through in his videos. And what this does is it makes his videos authentic to him.
So I think as a smaller YouTuber, it's easier to be more conversational when I kind of like know who I'm talking to. But like the question, I guess, that I'm thinking about is like, as I get bigger and I want to get bigger, will that change? So will I go from being more conversational, more of like a friendly banter? Will I end up automatically becoming more presentational as the audience grows? I'm not sure, but yeah, to answer your question in a nutshell, I'd say that my audience enjoys a conversation versus a presentation. So my style of delivery is more like talking at a coffee shop versus impressing a stadium.
What about the big creators that still feel like you're hanging out with a personal friend? Well, I need to clarify, by big creator, I don't mean they have a lot of subscribers. What I really mean is whether they have a team and how many people are on that team. MrBeast, he's a very big creator. He has, I don't know, hundreds of employees working for him, helping him with the videos. So his videos has a production team behind them. But there are other big creators with lots of subscribers that still feel personal, like you're hanging out with a friend. For example, Trahan, over 23 million subscribers, but watching him doesn't feel like you're watching a production. It feels like you're hanging out with Ryan, and that's because, as far as I know, right now, I think he only has like 1 or 2 assistant editors. He doesn't have a person to come up with ideas and write the script and edit and produce and film and do all these things. It's primarily Ryan and 1 or 2 assistant editors, but he's in charge of everything. He's doing most of it by himself or helping with the edit. He is involved in every aspect of making the video so that his fun, quirky personality, it's able to come through in his videos. And I think Ryan is an exception, because a lot of creators, as they grow, as they get more subscribers, they'll hire on different people to do this, that, and the other thing, so that the videos feel a lot less personal. Like I was saying earlier, it just makes the video feel a lot more produced. Or it can. It doesn't have to, but it definitely can.
I hate to say it, but I think it's the other way. I think my content has to change to grow. Like, right now, I think the videos I'm making are a little bit too niche to grow in the way that I want to grow. I know that for me, it wouldn't work to completely take away the nerd stuff, completely take away the I'm making something, I'm a human being doing something, and instead being more of like a stadium presenter like MrBeast. I know it wouldn't work for me because my heart isn't there. So yeah, my content might change a little bit going forward because I want that bigger audience, but I am really desperately hoping to find this perfect balance where it's not also violating my center and my core. And, you know, I don't want to MrBeastificate. Too many people go down that and everybody fails.
And as more and more content feels more produced, I think smaller creators like Emil are able to fill in the space that these large creators are leaving. That authentic, unpolished, raw kind of content that people still crave, that 2016 vibe.
My core audience definitely misses old YouTube, and that's what a lot of my audience gravitates towards for me. I don't think old school YouTube will ever disappear, but it will become less profitable, I think. I guess this would be a huge difference that I'd identify, is that you can't just pick up a camera and film something and then edit it and, oh wow, that's how it turned out. You have to do pre-production, like traditional Hollywood or traditional film. You have to be like, this is how the video is gonna go, and this is exactly how the video, you know, could change or be different, but it's within a framework. And that framework is a lot of the time tied to a really crazy title and thumbnail, which is annoying. Okay, I can look at this two ways. It's really annoying to have an amazing video idea, and then you're like, yeah, but I can't come up with a single title and thumbnail, so I'm either gonna have to heavily augment it or scrap it. And it means that I have to think marketing first. How can I market? I need to market something. Okay, here's something I'm gonna market. But you could also look at it like, you know, traditional academia, where you need a really profound thesis. Like, you have 1,000-page, you know, hundreds of page academic paper, yet it's a mark of academic excellence to be able to encapsulate it in a 3-line thesis statement or something. So if I think about it that way, like, I gotta worry about having a really profound and great thesis statement, which is going to hook people in. That is artistically exciting and engaging. Maybe I'm telling myself this so that I actually, do it. And I don't protest against something that I can't protest against. So yeah, it's a lot of backwards thinking, I guess. The opposite way nowadays versus back in old YouTube. But I feel like if I lean into it more, I can find it artistically compelling and stimulating. And if I find it artistically compelling and stimulating, if I market it to myself that way, then I will actually do it and enjoy it.
What I think is happening now is there are two worlds that exist on YouTube. There's the creators like Emil who satisfy the hanging out with a buddy kind of vibe, and then there's the MrBeast's production company channels of the world. And I really don't think these two worlds are competing with each other. Instead, I think there are actually two distinct battles happening right now. So the first battle is with smaller creators and how you spend time on your phone. I would say that creators like Emil are competing with Instagram, TikTok, even X, and Facebook, Reddit, all the different apps that you spend time on your phone. The second battle is with the MrBeasts of the world, and I wouldn't say that they're competing with the smaller creators or even other social media apps. I would say they're competing with Hollywood, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, all the other streaming services, because, okay, so there's a big conversation happening right now about YouTubers replacing Hollywood. The idea is that YouTubers can tell better stories, connect with more people, they can do it for a smaller budget and yet make a bigger profit compared to Hollywood, Hollywood just feels a little dull and creatively burnt out right now. And the idea is that YouTubers will take over Hollywood. And by Hollywood, I don't necessarily mean movies. What I mean is, who do people watch when they turn on the TV in their living room? That's who I mean. Who are people watching on their big screens? And the answer right now seems to be leaning more and more towards YouTube. But I don't think YouTube as a whole will take over Hollywood's screen time. Instead, I think the big production company YouTubers are going to do that, while the smaller creators will continue to make the content that is more traditional YouTube, so to speak.
One thing that I've realized over the course of what I'm doing is that it's really hard to be a successful YouTuber who is doing something contrary to industry norms, which is not necessarily taking a video and packaging it in some sort of like a work, but instead just letting it happen. All you can really do to make sure those people still exist is to engage with the videos, because the work is being done for the people who are packaging it for a mainstream audience, but a more niche audience, you actually have to help the creator, not only in terms of like doing the right algorithm things, like watching the whole thing and pressing like and subscribing, but helping the creator's mental health by leaving an actual comment. Like, I didn't think when I started how profoundly moving it is to me to get kind comments. Even if it's like a whole bunch of comments, there were still like 8 to 10 of them where I could tell that someone really cared enough to leave an actually great comment, that clearly they were thinking about something and they translated that. So like, for big YouTubers, you're absolutely screaming into the void. No one's gonna read that, and potentially no one's gonna care. But for medium or small YouTubers, speaking to myself, it actually does. There are days where I'm not necessarily up to my full energy to make a video, and then a comment comes in and I'm like, all right, it's gonna be okay.
So the point of this video isn't that small YouTubers are better, big YouTubers are bad, because there are big production company channels that tell really good, personal, genuine stories. I mean, look at Khare. She has wonderful storytelling, and she has an entire team of people working with her on her videos. See, the point of this video right now is that there are two separate worlds on YouTube, but they serve two very different goals. So if you want to see how Khare and her team are able to tell really personal, genuine, authentic stories, then take a look at that video right there.
I'm just filming, bro.